Hello, my name is Wesley Faulkner. I'm a developer advocate for Daily, and I ask for questions about video APIs, anything and everything, and you delivered. And I have some responses for you, so let me go and get those answered. Let's go with the first question. It comes from Ben. It says, "Hi, what's a video API and its use?" Really good question. So there are three types of video APIs. They all have to deal with latency. We have one end of the spectrum that deals with like real-time video, and then the other end that is more time-shifted and on-demand video. And then we have the case in the middle, which is video streaming. So if you've heard of Twitch or services like that, where you can go live like on Facebook or even YouTube, those are streaming variants of videos and video APIs. So depending on your use case, if you need real-time video, if you're having a conversation with someone else or multiple people on a conference call, you need pretty real-time communication. You can react to people's facial expressions. You don't interrupt each other because you can tell someone else is speaking. So you need real-time video there. Streaming is when you can have close to real-time communication, but you add a buffer so that you're getting all the video packets and then sending it off broadcast to multiple people. And when you do it that way, you can almost just scale to how many people really need the video at that time. Most of the work happens with taking all the individual feeds and putting them together and then making it one big pipe to get that streamed out. And the last one that I talked about, which is video on demand, that's a Netflix or a Disney Plus, where you have a video file, it's recorded, it's not going to change, it's pretty static, and you're just making sure it's able to be distributed to the people who want it when they want it. So those are the three types of videos: real-time, streaming, and on demand. Okay, let's go to the next question. And this one's from Rachel. It says, "What are some business benefits of a video API?" And I'm going to tackle Michael's question with that one, which is, why is a video API vital for a brand or organization? The reason why you want to use video in your applications or your websites is because it's more engaging. You're watching this video now, and it sounds better and it feels better to see my hands moving when I talk or my eyes connecting to you. It just feels more connected. And if you want to engage with your customers, engage with the other businesses that you are in partnership with, video is a really good way to do that. That's why we talk about video calls more than audio calls, because you get more from video. You are able to show more in video. Also, when you have a video API on your own platform, you're able to control how that video shows up. You can make it so that you have a Twitter stream on one side, or you can have your customer service page. Or if you're an e-commerce business, you can have an order page. You can reduce the friction for people to use your goods and services by having video available for usage next to your primary role or product or service. So make it so that it's all in one place and you don't have to go different places for it. If you want to do a webinar, if you want to do an online course, video is a really engaging way to make sure that people are able to see and hear how you feel and what you're presenting. So video, it's not going away and it's only growing. All right, let's go to the next question. This one's from Kindle, and there's going to be a whole Kindle series. But his first question is, why not write a video API myself? A really good question. So this is the build versus buy argument. Do I build it or do I buy it? Depending on your needs, if it's super simple, yes, you can build it yourself. If you are trying to grow or use it in production, you could start running into problems. When you have to grow the usage of video based on your applications, you could run into scaling issues. There are bugs that you would have to solve and squash on your own. You will have to deal with the differences between Windows, Linux, and the Mac, and all the intricacies there. You'll have to deal with browsers. Not all browsers handle video the same. You'll have to deal with that. You'll have to worry about your own bandwidth management to see if the video is too large and you're trying to deliver that to a mobile, you'll have to shrink it down and figure that out. If it's the other way around, if you're sending a thumbnail size video to a 4K high definition television, then it's going to look grainy and it's going to look awful. So you want to make sure that you handle all the use cases of the types of browsers, operating systems, display sizes, if it's on Wi-Fi as opposed to LTE. You have different challenges when you try to do things yourself. And if you have an API, you're able to move faster and allow the API to do most of that work for you. All right, let's go to the next question. If I use a third-party API, do I get the visibility and reach that I get if I just posted something on YouTube and embedded it? Great question. When you do that, you can do that with streaming. You can do that on YouTube with your time-shifted content. But you couldn't do it with like real-time communications. YouTube doesn't do that. So those are so you can do 2 of the 3 video use cases, so depending on what you need. Also, when you use a video API like a streaming service, you're not limited to just YouTube. I mentioned Facebook Live before. There's LinkedIn has a live component. There's Twitch and streaming. There's so many places that do streaming that you don't have to be limited to one. And if you have your own implementation of a video API that does streaming, you can send it to multiple services if you'd like. So in theory, you can have wider distribution when you use your own video API or use a video API rather than being limited to just putting it on YouTube and having them use their search engine. Use all of the search engines. Another reason why you wouldn't use like YouTube is for conference calls. If you need real-time back and forth communication, you can't just use YouTube for that. That's not going to take that first case, that near real time. And even if you're doing async communication, some communications aren't so good for YouTube. But if you're talking about personal information, you don't want to put that on YouTube. If I'm a doctor delivering test results to a client using a video call, or even if I'm putting it into your inbox, a secured inbox, you don't want to put that on YouTube. You want to make sure that is confidential and secure and that you're able to make sure that it's not accessible by anyone else. So those are all the good reasons why YouTube may not be the best solution. And in some cases, you don't have to limit yourself to YouTube based on what you need. All right, let's go to the next set of questions. This is from Kimberly. We have 3 questions and I'm going to tackle them one by one. How should a developer building with video decide what API to use? So, really good question. It all depends on the use case. I mentioned the 3 types of videos that you might be dealing with. But beyond that, you want to see if you're optimizing for video. You might be optimizing for audio. You might be optimizing for mobile. Depending on what use case, you need flexibility. Like what if you want to make sure that it works across browsers? Or there's some features like cloud recording that may not be available with some vendors. So you want to check what your use case is, what you're going to be doing with that video, what features you need. For instance, you need screen sharing and you want to have multi-track recording, or you want to filter certain tracks, or you want to enhance the video with a filter or AR, and so you can have virtual scarves or crazy hats, all on that with video. Or with the audio, if you want to make sure you can insert a worker to do closed captioning or translations in real time. You want to make sure that you have access to those types of features based on your use case, and you want to make sure the API can handle all of those. Great question. Let's go to the next one. What kinds of apps do you think could be most enhanced with a video added? Oh, I would say the ones where you need security and you need reliability more from the customer wants to trust the company. If you're calling for customer service, you want to make sure you're talking to a person, not a robot. It's good to have that rapport. If you are dealing with a really time-sensitive exchange, video's really good with transferring that information. Let's say I was in a car wreck and I wanted to file a claim. It's really quick to say, hey, this is me, this is my vehicle. You can verify it on video. You can see this is where the damage is, this is what the intersection looked like, and you can take care of some of the things in real time rather than having an adjuster having to go to location and just verify all that. So if you need extreme trust, like we talked about telemedicine, that's something that you need video instead of just typing in your symptoms. Being able to examine someone visually is a really good advantage. Also, it's an enhancement for like regular programs where you need to collaborate with a coworker. If you ever have those Slack exchanges and you just say, hey, let's just get on a call and work this out, build that into your app so they won't have to find some other medium to do that call. Build it right into your application. That's a really good use case right there. All right. Last question. What's a dream fun project you hope someone builds with a video API someday? Ooh. I would say like a Shark Tank for nonprofits and funders. So people whose mission, who have an idea of how they can help some underrepresented group or people who are extremely vulnerable, that they're able to pitch that idea, they're able to present it to a group of funders who be interested in hearing all of these new and innovative ways to actually affect change and make a difference. And it'll increase the likelihood that people who are doing that will be connected with someone who actually has the funds and the means to give some assistance to those people who are really trying to help us all ultimately. So that's something I hope one day gets built. All right, thank you for the questions. These were all great. You can have more questions for me for another video by making sure you put them in the comments. Just put them there and I will answer those. Or you can reach out to me on Twitter. I'm Wesley83 on Twitter, and you can send me the questions there for the next video. Thank you for your time and have a good one. Bye.